So this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Young and Innocent, 1937. This is going to be another Hitchcock. The Rank Organization presents Young and Innocent, a romantic murder mystery drama starring Derek DeMarney, Nova Pilbeam, Percy Marmont, and Edward Rigby, none of whom I've ever heard of, directed by Alfred Hitchcock. The poster is okay, not spectacular, but I think this is one of the last British films from Hitch. Young and Innocent, released in the U.S. as The Girl Was Young, is a 1937 British crime thriller film directed by Alfred Hitchcock and starring Nova Pilbeam, and Derek DeMarney, based on the 1936 novel A Shilling for Candles by Josephine Tay. The film is about a young man on the run from a murder charge who enlists the help of a woman who must put herself at risk for his cause. An elaborately staged crane shot Hitchcock devised, which appears towards the end of the film, identifies the real murderer. I'm giving this 5 out of 5 stars. I thought it was decent. I couldn't figure out what the beginning had to do with the rest of the movie. But then I went back and I listened to another reviewer's take on it and started to make sense. So I think I get the movie now. It was a little over my head at the beginning. All right. Production company Gaumont British, distributed by General Film Distributors. Release dates November 1937 in London and February 17th, 1938 in the US. Running time, 83 minutes, pretty decent running time. I'm on my second review this weekend. I'm going for number 3. I think I can do it. I've got a dentist appointment at 3 p.m. I got to take my little nappy poo, eat lunch, and then it's on. Movie number 3 is on. Country UK, language English. All right. On a stormy night at a retreat on the English coast, Christine Clay, a successful actress, argues passionately with her jealous ex-husband, Guy, not accepting her Reno divorce as valid. He accuses her of having an affair. Finally, she slaps him, and he leaves the room. His eyes twitch violently. The next morning, writer Robert Tisdall is walking along the seaside when Christine's dead body washes ashore. He recognizes her, and he runs for help. 2 young women arrive just in time to see him racing away from the corpse. The police quickly decide that Tisdall is the only suspect. So you have the Keystone Cops here, not knowing who the real murderer is. You've got great cinematography, good music towards the end. You even got blackface characters at the end, and a great happy ending. I love this movie. I don't know why I'm so intrigued by Hitchcock British movies. I think they're overlooked, as Karate Man would say. They're underrated. Anyway, not too many people know about this movie. Christine was strangled with a belt from a raincoat. His raincoat is missing, and he says it was recently stolen. He admits having known Christine for 3 years since he sold her story. Scotland Yard detectives grill him all night. They suggest he was having an affair with Christine. When they tell him she has left him a large sum of money in her will, he faints. He is revived with the aid of Erica Borgine, a very comely looking, skinny, flat chested woman with interesting hair, daughter of the local police chief constable. Tisdale is assigned an incompetent solicitor, and he is taken into court for his formal arrangement. This is where the goofy stuff starts to happen. I thought I was watching a Marx Brothers movie at this point. Doubting if his innocence will ever be established, he takes advantage of overcrowding in the courthouse to escape, and he steals the solicitor's glasses to disguise his face. He gets away by riding on the running board of Erica's Morris car, very cool looking car, Morris Motors Limited. Which was a very popular car back in 1926. I'm not sure why they're using a crank car in 1937. I guess things must be rough in London. So they're using a very old used car, revealing himself to her after the car runs out of petrol, also known as gas here in the United States. In UK, they call it petrol. Here they call it gas. He helps push the car to the filling station, pays for petrol gas, and convinces her to give him a ride. Though she is initially fearful and unsure about her passenger, Erica eventually becomes convinced of his innocence, and she decides to help him. It's unfortunate that her dad is the chief constable, and she's forcing him to resign. They are eventually spotted together, forcing both to stay on the run from the police. Tisdale tries to prove his innocence by tracking down the stolen coat. If it still has its belt, the one found next to Christine's body must not be his. The duo succeed in tracing Tisdale's coat to old Will, a homeless Chinamander. But Will was not the thief. He was given the coat by a man with twitchy eyes and with its belt already missing. After becoming separated from the others, Erica is taken in by the police upon realizing that his daughter has fully allied himself with the murder suspect. Her father chooses to resign his position rather than arrest her for assisting a felon. Tisdale sneaks into their house to see Erica, intending to surrender and assert he kidnapped her, but she mentions that the coat had a box of matches from the Grand Hotel in the pocket. As Tisdale has never been there, he surmises perhaps the murderer has a connection to the hotel. Everything changes so fast in this. It's crazy. The following evening, Erica and Will go to the hotel together, hoping to find him. It is revealed that Guy is the drummer in the band in the hotel ballroom, performing in blackface. His eyes are twitching. Recognizing old Will in the audience and seeing policemen nearby who have actually followed Will, hoping he would lead them to Tisdale. Guy performs poorly due to fear. He is berated by the conductor, and during a break, he takes medicine to try to control the twitching, but it makes him very sleepy. Eventually, in mid performance, Guy passes out, drawing the attention of Erica and the police. And, and the ending is great. We love Alfred Hitchcock on this channel. Even his early stuff is great. This one in 39 Steps in particular. Great stuff. Variety called the film a pleasing, artless vehicle for Nova Pilbeam, who was charming in her role, and concluded, I agree with that. And if the pick is not Hitchcock's best effort, it is by no means unworthy of him. Frank Nugent of the New York Times called it a crisply paced, excellently performed film. The Monthly Film Bulletin wrote, innumerable small touches show Hitchcock's keen and penetrating observation and his knowledge of human nature. Comedy, romance, and thrills are skillfully blended. Harrison's reports wrote, good melodramatic entertainment because of the novelty of the story, the interesting plot developments, and the expert direction by Alfred Hitchcock. One's attention is held from the beginning to the end. John Mosher of The New Yorker, however, wrote that it was rather exasperating and disappointing to me. It begins with a smart murder, but wanders off through the English rural landscape in a fashion so lacking in that sound common sense we like in our mysteries, or like to feel in there somehow that one's interest fades away. Aggregator Rotten Tomatoes reports 100% approval of Young and Innocents with an average rating of 7.6 out of 10. When was the last time you saw 100% approval on Rotten Tomatoes? All right, this movie poster actually looks better. The successor to 39 Steps, Nova Pilbeam. The girl was young. I like this U.S. movie poster better. Nova Pilbeam and the Girl Was Young with Derek DeMarney, directed by Alfred Hitchcock. Cool looking, much better looking U.S. theatrical release poster with the alternate title there. Significant changes were made in adopting the book for the film. The novel is a whodunit centered on the Scotland Yard inspector who is Tay's regular character, Alan Grant. The storyline involving Robert Tisdall, Erica Borgone, and the missing coat is similar to the film story, but in the novel, it is only a subplot and ends part way through the book when Erica finds the coat and it is intact. Grant then focuses on other suspects, none of whom, including the actual murder in the novel, appear in the film. Christine Clay in the novel is not divorced, but is an unconventional marriage to an aristocrat. Alfred Hitchcock's cameo is a signature occurrence in most of his films. He can be seen outside the courthouse holding a camera at 14 minutes into the film. And I realized that, but I couldn't find it on Wikipedia until just now. So I will put starring Alfred Hitchcock, since I know none of the other actors in this. Starring what a nice little hidden gem this was. And I might add that it's public domain, I think, this one. Because I got it, watched it on Cult Cinema Classics. It's also free on Yahoo. Young and Innocent is copyrighted worldwide, but has been heavily bootlegged for home video. Despite this, licensed releases have appeared on Blu-ray, DVD, and video on demand services worldwide from the likes of Network Distributing in the UK, MGM, and the Criterion Collection in the US and others. Okay, so I guess Cult Cinema Classics did not have permission to use that print on YouTube, but they used a bootlegged home video print. All right. I got one thumbs up. Nobody in the chat room. What the heck is going on here? I like the gal on YouTube who reviewed this. She looks completely nerdy. My kind of gal. Okay. Young and Innocent, 1937, 1 hour, 23 minutes. Gets a 6.8 out of 10. Pretty decent rating on IMDb. 11,000 ratings. Then again, it's pretty typical rating for Alfred Hitchcock. 11,000 ratings for Alfred Hitchcock is a low number since he's so wildly popular in U.S. culture. A man on the run from a murder charge enlists the help of a beautiful stranger who must put herself at risk for his cause. Yeah, she is beautiful. Look at her face. It's just perfect. And her hair. I love this gal. I fell in love with her. Nova Pilbeam. What a knockout she is. Ooh. All right, more like this. Sabotage, Secret Agent, The Man Who Knew Too Much, and Jamaica Inn. Alfred Hitchcock outside the courthouse holding a camera as Robert Tisdall, Derek DeMarney, escapes at about 16 minutes and 10 seconds in the movie. At around 50 minutes, when Erica Borgon and Robert Tisdall have taken refuge at night in a small town by parking her car next to a siding just before where the railroad underpasses a bridge. The entire scene has been staged and shot as an obvious miniature, as revealed by 3 mistakes: the somewhat jerky motion and unnatural lighting of an automobile, indicating that it was pulled as it moves across the bridge above the railroad. I thought that looked a little odd, but it was kind of cool, actually. The express train speeding under the bridge drags a length of cord behind it. The express train speeding under the bridge drags a length of cord behind it as it disappears from view. The camera tracking in closer to the parked automobile hidden in the shelter of freight trains on sidings reveals that the figures of Erica and Robert are actually modeled and painted figurines, motionless until the shot suddenly changes to a medium close-up shot of the 2 actors. I thought that shot was really, really cool looking, because it was like a dream sequence almost. Erica Borgon: Father, don't you think we ought to ask Mr. Tisdall to dinner? That's the last line in the movie. This was featured in Reputation's Hitch, Alfred the Great, 1999. Soundtracks: No One Can Like the Drummer Man, written by Samuel Lerner, Al Goodhart as Goodhart, and Al Hoffman as Hoffman. Here's a review on IMDb from Al's Ex-Gal, January 28th, 2023, a recent review, giving it a lower 7 out of 10, but still higher than average rating. The title of the review on IMDb was becoming well-trod territory for Hitchcock. Even then, another wrongfully accused man-on-the-run tale from Hitchcock, this time starring Derek DeMarney as a singer accused of murder. He escapes custody with hopes of clearing his name, and he gets some unexpected help from Erica Nova Pilbeam. Great performance. The daughter of a police inspector with Percy Marmont, John Longren, Edward Rigby, Mary Clare, Basil Radford, Basil Radford, George Curzon, George Merritt, Bill Shine, and Torrin Thatcher. This was becoming well-trod territory for Hitchcock even back in 1937. DeMarmy and Pilbeam don't quite have this screen charisma of Donat and Carroll, but this is still enjoyable if one keeps their expectations in check. There's some miniature work featuring some trains and cars and suspenseful mine collapse. The finale with the band in blackface may keep this one on the lesser shown list. Pilbeam was 17 when this was filmed. Whoa. I take it back. I don't want to sound like I've got the hots for a 17-year-old. Forget what I said about Pilbeam. While her romantic on-screen partner DeMarney was 31. Okay. I guess maybe the age of consent is a little different in the UK, and I was off by 1 year. Anyways, going on my movie list, let's see what's coming down the pike. We've got Port of New York, 1949, Death Wish, 1974, and Knockoff, 1998. Those are my next three. I'm hoping to do a couple more, Port of New York and Death Wish, in the next few days. So hang in there. I'm going down my list. I'm going to add some more Ned Beatty films tomorrow if I can wake up early. Laters.